up, you beautiful bastards? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we introduce the newest yearly roundup. There are a lot of shitty people in the world, and some of the time that is thanks to a lot of shitty parents. We have seen that over and over this year. So before we jump into 2016, I asked you guys, who are parents of the year this year? Who did we talk about this year that made you go, man, I wish you were my mom or dad? And that's how we got this list. Enjoy.
This is a new show.
Then for your daily dose of crazy, let's talk about Bruce and Deborah Leonard. These two parents brought in their 19 and 17-year-old son for a Sunday counseling session. It was at their church, the Word of Life Christian Church, and in these counseling sessions, they tried to get the boys to confess to prior sins and ask for forgiveness. Apparently, the way that this community did that was by beating it out of them. So much so that the 17-year-old son was nearly beaten to death, and the 19-year-old was beaten to death. According to police, they said they're not sure if weapons were used, and if they were, they're not sure which one, but it appeared from all the bruises that the teenagers were beaten for hours. Bruce and Deborah have both been charged with manslaughter, and 4 other members of the congregation, including the sibling's sister, were charged with assault. And so with this story, all I can think is, can we bring back the death penalty for just these guys? This is a one-time thing, burning at the stake. Maybe we attach some fireworks to the bottom, make a show of it. I think this story is a perfect example. Sometimes people think that I hate religion. I don't hate religion. I hate the crazy people that are a part of religions. And what sucks is the crazy people get attention, and if it's so far away and you don't deal with the normal people that are a part of insert whatever religion, you think that's the norm. And if that terrifies people enough, the media will go, yeah, isn't that crazy? That's kind of the norm. Isn't that crazy? Stay tuned for more crazy, which there'll be a lot of because, you know, all of them are crazy. But seriously though, the fire thing, I think it's a good idea.
This is a new show.
Potential mother of the year, 34-year-old Heather Young. Heather, seen here possibly rethinking some of her life choices, did something that makes most mothers look like a saint. In the wee hours of the morning, Heather decided to drive drunk with her son in the car to an orgy where she got into a fight with another woman for undressing herself in front of that woman's child, which resulted in the police being called and the police trying to talk to her, but she decided to spit on them and she got arrested. The good news is the child wasn't harmed and is with the father. As far as Heather is concerned, she's facing charges for DUI, assault, indecent exposure, reckless endangerment, and public drunkenness. And the main point of this story is if you are going to go to the most disgusting drunken orgy ever, at least get a babysitter and an Uber.
This is a new show.
Then we had more news coming out about Naked Twister party mom. If you don't know, this woman, Rachel Lynn Lenhart, lost custody of her children after her AA sponsor told authorities about a party that she threw for her teenager that included 1, smoking weed, 2, drinking booze, 3, hot tubbing with underage kids, 4, playing a game of Naked Twister with said kids, 5, banging her daughter's 18-year-old friend in the bathroom, and 6, doing her daughter a favor by banging her 16-year-old boyfriend. The reason I say doing a favor is because apparently that's what it was, because apparently the daughter's boyfriend was too big for her to handle, so mama helped out. But it turns out there was more, with 7 multi-party bubble bath and 8 showing the kids videos and or pictures of her in sexual acts ranging from oral, anal to vaginal, as you know, like a how-to guide, I guess. You know, normal stuff.
This is a new show.
And next up, let's play a little game called Guess That State. Joey and Chad Mudd have been arrested because allegedly their parenting method with their 13 and 15-year-old daughters was that if you excel at school and you clean your room, you get treats. Except they didn't give their daughters ice cream or pizza like other parents, they gave them cocaine. According to the police report, the mother waived her Miranda rights and said, yeah, I smoked weed with my underage daughters at least 5 times. While the dad, Chad, snorted cocaine with his daughters outside of Treasure Island. So the question is, was it in Alabama? Was it in Mississippi? Or was it in, everyone knows it was Florida? Everyone knows it was Florida. Granted, 1, I'm a little pissed off because my reward for keeping my room clean and getting good grades was not getting hit. But 2, who does coke with their 13-year-old daughter in a Treasure Island parking lot? Granted, if I was given a blind survey and someone said, do you believe that someone with the name Chad Mudd would do that? I'd say yes, and probably meth too. But who does coke with their kid? That doesn't make you a cool parent. That makes you a terrible parent. Just get an Adderall prescription like a normal person. They're just throwing those things at people. I got a toothache, here's some Adderall. My room's slightly messy and I found Moby Dick boring. Here's some Adderall.
This is a new show.
Then in horrifying news, I want to talk about Lacey Spears. Lacey is a former mommy blogger that has been found guilty of second-degree murder of her 5-year-old son. Lacey wrote that Garnett had tons of ailments, including ear infections, unexplained fevers, seizures, digestive problems, and she would share them on her blog and Facebook, saying that before his first birthday, he was in and out of hospitals 23 times, but authorities didn't believe her, saying that she made up many of these things, and that her son wasn't sick at all, and that her blog was filled with lies, not only about her son, but also saying that her son's father was a police officer who died, which was news to his real father. And they believe that this woman initially started by saying her son was sick for attention and for blogging material, and then later, sometimes even poisoning her son so that she had material. All of that leading to the moment where they said that she put salt into his feeding tube, which resulted in his death. And I know that these days everyone talks about rare mental disorders, and what I see when I see this woman is pure evil. You not only hurt another person, you hurt your own blood for attention so you didn't feel so small and insignificant. Well, while you're insignificant, you are not small. You are a huge, huge problem. You are a huge douchebag. You are a huge waste of space. You are not a mother. You're a woman who gave birth and turned out to be a monster. So maybe your parents don't seem as bad, or you have something very similar. If that's the case, please call someone. But hopefully that's not the case. Either way, I do want to say, Nation, thank you again for another fantastic year. Well, I don't consider you guys my children. I definitely do consider you my family. So thank you really for another fantastic year. That said, this is probably the final reminder. The Philip DeFranco Show in its normal form returns January 4th. If you haven't checked out the top list for douchebag, what the fuck, lovely lady, be sure to check those out and definitely be subscribed so you are here when we come back with the show. But, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces and I'll see you very, very soon.